Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. Happy Thursday, Fry Up. Can you hear me properly? I checked the sound before, and then I went off stage a little bit to do a little bit of extra research and stuff like that. And oh my goodness, folks, there is so much to talk about, isn't there? There is so much ground to cover. So much is happening. Thank you as well for all your questions. I'm going to try and get through as many of your questions as I can. Here they are here. Over 4 pages of questions, and I went backwards and forwards, did a little bit of research. I've got some extra insights for you, so stick on and until the end. We're going to start with some astrological bits and bobs. Then we're going to be talking about Tim Walz. So just to give you an idea, and hopefully I'll get through all of this. So going to be talking about people are asking about the ascendants, which ascendants are most oh, thank you, sound is good, thank you. Yes, Michelle Turner saying sound is good, and so is Mary. So there's a question starting off like the Great Awakening, which ascendants are most effective in terms of luck, or maybe not so good luck? We'll have a look. We've got Tariffs chat on European booze. So that's in from Nick Minks, and I have to do a Nick Minks one. I've been meaning to read you out for a couple of weeks, Nick Minks, and it's just gone. It's gone. We've got I think there's one you'll find very interesting on Tim Walz. Tim Walz. I just went back to my old video of my predictions for the US election just to make sure that I was on the right page. We know that the elections were on the 5th. I actually did it on the 4th of November, but it will say the 5th because I'm in UK time. So by the time I published the video, it had gone over to the next day, but it hadn't actually happened yet. Anyway, we've got a question on Russia, one on recession, one on Elon, and also as well, and also as well, things to do with Greenland, Greenland. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'll just say a thank you as well. As you know, Thursdays, I like to give a little shout out for my consultations. Oh, God, I've forgotten. Oh, God, I've not put them in the right order, haven't I? Ranjit, a big shout out to you. Naki. And who else did I talk to today? It was Karen. So shout out to you guys, you know who you are, but just a thank you for all my clients during the week anyway. And of course, if you'd like to book with me, then you can if you go to the video description in my videos, I always put it there. It will be put in post show, but you just click on my website and have a look in there. And please put the month in long form, because as you know, in the UK and the rest of the world, we do day, month, year, not month, day, year, as it is in the USA. All right, you know what? I'm just going to dive in. Many of you are piling here in the chat. Sound is good. Let's just let rip and try and get in as many as possible. All right, so this is coming from Cat Baloo. Cat Baloo. And they say, hello, Hogarth. With all the planet and lunar stuff going on, is there one or two signs that will have the best year and which ones will struggle? Thank you for your time. Now, as you know, the eclipse season is here. It's actually happening. It's actually unfolding now. The lunar eclipse is unfolding now. You can say it's 13th/14th, but we are here. As I'm coming to you live, of course, it is the 13th of March, 2025. And the moon deals with the people. I want you to remember that. The moon deals with the public. Eclipses are shadows. And when those shadows come, things come up and out of the dark that were previously people were unaware of or didn't quite fully understand, etc. Yeah. Now, as we know, the eclipses are 2 weeks apart. Lunar one is first on this occasion, and that means the solar eclipse will be next 2 weeks later. And you know, as I've been referring to this as the Great Awakening or the Rude Awakening, because now people are really beginning to see where this is going. OMG. Yeah, look at what has been unfolding. Many of you will have also seen what people are referring to as MAGA tears. Yeah, everyone's like, oh, yeah, because they're like, oh my God. And the slogan going around, of course, is, I wasn't expecting the leopards to eat my face. Yeah, we've heard it. This has been going on for a few weeks now, but now it's getting real, isn't it, folks? It is getting real. The moon deals with the public, and at the end, Denise, she reminded me to give a shout out of all of the protests and all that stuff, so I'll make sure that I close the show with that. But what does this mean? It means consciousness is rising in the public, particularly with MAGA voters, about the consequences of what they have done. Yeah. The moon and Pluto in particular, they deal a lot with the subconscious. Pluto in particular really is the planet of the subconscious. And when eclipses comes, there is something that breaks through that was previously unconscious. It starts to become conscious. And in which case, what's happening is self-awareness, not for all MAGA, of course, but self-awareness of the consequences of what is happening is starting to raise in the public. And now they're like, holy moly. But of course, not everyone voted that way. And I honestly, I just want to repeat, my heart goes out to those people that didn't vote for this. About half the country did not vote for this, and they're being dragged through the mud, or being dragged like that woman was dragged out of that town hall. Where was it? Was it Idaho? I think it was Idaho, where she was just dragged out. Yeah, it's almost like everyone is being dragged along by the rubbish. But when it comes to Tim Walz, there is a little bit of hope. So let's just see. Right, let's dive in. All right. So the ascendants. Let's just get this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you and give you a mini, super quick presentation on where the great alignment is happening, just so that you can see. I mean, you all know, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, forgive me, but many people are new subscribers, etc. They wouldn't have necessarily seen this before, or this is the first time it's coming to their awareness. So if you've heard this before, bear with me. If it's new to you, yeah, get the eyes open and look over here. So what am I talking about with this great awakening that I've been talking about for ages? I think it's at least a year, if not longer. It's this. Yeah, you see here 1, 2. So Saturn, Rahu, Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, Neptune, Sun, Moon together. Sun, Moon together. Rahu is present, or one of the nodes. That means it's also an eclipse. And if you include Chiron, this is a configuration of 8 planets in sidereal Pisces. Now, of course, in Western Tropical, which uses a different technique, they use the older map of the sky. They're 24 degrees ahead of the sidereal placements. So that means some of those planets would already be considered to be in Aries. Yeah. So they'll be saying that the eclipse is happening in Sun, Moon. Sun and Moon would be happening in Aries. Yeah. That's where they would say the eclipse is happening. And then all the rest here is in Pisces, because the overlap is 6 degrees between the two. But here you can see actually they all fall in, and this is profound. This is very, very important, because it means the energy is concentrated there. This is happening in the 4th house of the Declaration of Independence chart, which of course I use for America. Works very, very well. The 4th house is the seat of power, family, real estate. Yeah. security, literally national security, domestic security, land. It deals a lot with land. As you know, I've been saying as this energy builds up, I said we were going to see things and issues with real estate. Of course, you know, half of LA almost burnt down. But we're also seeing what? People's security literally being affected. And I have to read out some of the early questions because a lot of you, of course, are asking about what? Social security. Do you see how literally this works? Yeah, it's like, wow. And this is why I'm so passionate, as you guys know, I'm so passionate about Vedic astrology because it is so good at describing things, especially mundane and obviously personal as well. So anyway, so to answer the question, which ascendants? Now, I'll try and be quick. Depending on what your ascendant is sidereally. Now, look, why don't I do that? I've still not pulled out my finger and I don't have a chart calculator on my website. But if you literally just Google free Vedic chart calculator, you can look it up, put your details in and you can see where you are, what ascendant you are. And it's the one with the 2 diagonal lines, yeah, or 1 diagonal line in the box. That would be with number 1 in it. That would be your first house, yeah? Or any of the boxes that have got the line in it, that's your first house. So the ones that, the ascendants that will be experiencing a bit more challenge will be the ones that will be having this alignment happen in the Dusthana houses. What does that mean? The Dusthana houses are challenging. They're just innately more challenging. And the Dusthana houses, yeah, are 6, 8, and 12. With the 12th house being a little bit more gentle as a Dusthana, I would say, but still it's quite epic. So why the 6th house? The 6th house deals with health and healing and overcoming obstacles. So it can be very challenging to have a lot of energy there, but it can mean your routines will completely change. So on the 29th of March, anyone who is a Libra ascendant sidereally is having their 6th house activated. So look after your health, healing, etc. But it could also mean your routines will change. But beware as well of your digestion, stuff like that. But it's also an opportunity to change up your health as well. Yeah. 8th house, yeah, which I refers to as what? The house of sex, death, and rock and roll. This is the house of transformation. Leo ascendants, yeah, for Leo ascendants sidereally, this is happening in their 8th house. They're going to have the most dynamic movement and change. And of course, a certain Duck L'Orange is a Leo rising. Yeah. I mean, we can see certainly it's a roller coaster. Yeah. He's imposing a lot of change, but he's also having a lot of change inflicted on him as well because of the pushback. And Aries rising sidereally, they're having this happen in the 12th house. Yeah. Aries is here. This is the 12th house for Aries. So the 12th house deals with endings and beginnings, beginnings and endings. So a lot of Aries rising will be either retiring or letting go of old things or moving, maybe even moving country, literally country, because I refer to the 12th house as the land of far, far away. You've heard me mention that before, haven't you, folks? It deals with it means to cross a landmass or to cross an ocean. It deals with islands, coastlines, all of that kind of stuff. It also does deal with hospitals, yeah, and addictions and things like that, even prisons. But the positive of it is meditation and spiritual pilgrimage, yeah. Who's going to be the luckiest, yeah? Well, the houses that deal with dharma and luck especially are the 5th house and the 9th house. Yeah. So for Scorpio rising sidereal, this is happening in the 5th house. The 5th house deals with children, creativity, speculation, intelligence, and it's known as quite a lucky house. So many people who are Scorpio rising, you might be seeing changes, for example, in the lives of your children, but imaginative, prospecting, business, stuff like that. And perhaps the luckiest of all, not that I'm biased, but the luckiest of all, in these years is likely to be Cancer ascendant sidereally. So if you are a Cancer ascendant sidereally, you're getting this great awakening in the 9th house, which is known as the house of luck, of highest dharma. But it also means they're getting a lot of transformation as well. For everyone else, all the ones in between, it's more of a mixed bag. But otherwise, if I go into the full explanation, you can imagine the whole show would just end up being about the ascendants. And to be fair, I've already done one on Hogarth's on my financial channel. I did the US economy and I did all the ascendants as well. So if you want to know more information about how you're going to do, potentially, go over to Hogarth's financial astrology, look up the US economy, which I did, I think, last week. And in that, I also do predictions for all 12 signs. Yeah. All right. So I hope that helps you out. But thanks so much for that question. Right. Let's just dive into question number 2, and then I'll do some hellos and thank yous. Right. So Nick Minks, I call you out at last. Yeah. So she says, just seen on BBC News that the tariff king is going, so that's Trump, is going to put a 200% duty on EU alcohol. I heard about this earlier today as well. Will this have the effect they desire, or will the US be left drinking all of theirs that they can't now sell? So for those that may have missed it, Duck L'Orange has said, I'm putting a 200% duty on all alcohol and all of this stuff and champagne. Yeah. Oh, look what's at the base of the deck. Look at that. Yeah. My God, the devil. And he's saying, and that means, blah, blah, blah. We're just going to have to drink our own produced champagne. Well, someone needs to tell Duck L'Orange, champagne legally, by global definition, in terms of like food standards and stuff, can only be produced in the Champagne region. Anything else that is not produced in the Champagne region has to be referred to as sparkling wine. But you can make it the sparkling wine of your, so for example, the Spanish have a very popular sparkling wine. It's called Cava. Yeah, I'm sure California's got a sparkling wine or what have you, but you cannot call it champagne. Champagne only can come from the Champagne region, which is a very specific part of France. So there ain't going to be no American champagne. In the UK, we actually do a very, very good sparkling wine, which is called Nightimber, which actually wins international competitions against traditional French champagne. It's considered very often even better, but it can never be called English champagne because it must come from that region. Anyway, let's see what the consequences of that are. Oh God, this man is... But you see, guys, this is also part of what? The Great Awakening or the Rude Awakening. Everyone now is seeing how crazy this is. And for those that voted for this, they're never going to be able to live this down, unfortunately, because the consequences are so vast. The consequences are so vast. America will be changed forever. And it's literally affecting its seat of power. And those... Anyway, let me just read. We're all in the same boat. Anyone who's watching, you guys watching me, or even if you did vote for Trump and you're still watching me or what have you. But I think it's very clear now, isn't it, how profound this is, man. Anyway, right. What if... Will they have the effect they desire? What will these EU tariffs do? My instinct is just that it will just backfire. And then Trump on Greenland. Oh my God. All right. Okay. If we look here, we get the Ten of Swords. Now, you know, this card I often associate with the GOP. Yeah. But this also talks about legacies. This, and I also associate this with the EU as well because of the amount of stars on it. And of course, the EU, I think it's got, this is 10 pentacles, but you see there's like star, they're like pentagrams. I don't know if you can see here. You can't really see, but they're like pentagrams. Yeah. So they're like stars. I think the EU flag has got 12 stars or something like that. Don't quote me. I've not had time to count, but it's in that ballpark. So this can be talking about the EU, but this can also be talking about the GOP, and it's talking about legacies. This is talking about big institutions, yeah? Big institutions, legacies, that kind of stuff. So we can see we're on the right page here. And look at the card that turns up in the obstacle position. Now, as you know, when I'm reading on politics, and this is why I was a bit worried about Zelensky, yeah? Do you remember I did that reading? I said, they're going to try and end him in some kind of way. I hope it's not physical. I did my prediction the day before he arrived in the Oval Office, which, of course, is now an extension of the Kremlin. And they did their attack dog move. And they were basically trying to end him there and there. But something else died, yeah? And that was the relationship with Europe and the rest of the world, yeah? So here, this in many ways, this actually can represent death more than the death card, believe it or not. This is what I've found. The death card deals with transformation that can't be avoided. Yeah, it's when something has outlived its purpose. It's time for renewal. Yeah, so when you get the death card and you're doing a personal reading, it's actually not that bad. It means something old has to die and a new life is coming. This card can literally mean death. Yeah, the ending of something. But I also refer to it as well as retirement, political retirement. This is the card of being wounded in battle. So what this suggests here is that it could be the USA's relationship with the EU is permanently damaged. Permanent. Yeah, this guy is not getting back up, but it also means as well, this is a time for reflection. Yeah, the light's coming through. This is talking about pondering, reflection, meditation. So, of course, the EU has now decided to up its, up its budget. So in terms of like the tariffs, for a lot of people, now imagine if you are the seller of fine wines and fine European wines and foods, yeah, if that's your business, boom, yeah, Trump has just killed it. No one's going to buy wine that costs 200% more than it did before, yeah, which is basically 4 times the price. 100%, yeah, it basically doubles, and then near 200. Yeah, what am I talking about? Yeah, because it doubles, and then, yeah, 4 times the price. Yeah, I think I've got that right. Excuse me on my math. Sorry about that. Anyway, it's a lot, a lot more expensive. If you look here, this is Europe pondering its options. Yeah, it will just sell its wine somewhere else. Yeah, there is plenty of demand globally. Yeah, you see here, this is the merchant making decisions. Wands, as you know, wands aren't just fire. I also associate them with entrepreneurship. He is looking at the globe, and 2s are all about decisions. So of course the EU has a decision to make. Duck Laurent just thrown down the gauntlet. So they're like, all right, where else in the world can we sell our wine? Also as well, the wine will still come to America. If Americans order it, it's just going to cost 200% more. So is that viable? Really? I don't know. I mean, if you're a fan of like your Beaujolais and your Chateauneuf de Pape, if you're very wealthy, you're still going to buy that wine anyway. But for the average Joe, for the average American, European wines will become unaffordable. Yeah, you can't spend 4 times the amount. Do you know what I mean? You'll go for a Californian wine instead, if, of course, California hasn't seceded by that point. Anyway, if we look here, we've got the moon. Yeah, nothing is clear by moonlight. Here, you've the lobster crawling out, which can talk about the deep subconscious. You've got the domesticated dog and the wild wolf. But really, I'm coming to interpret this card quite straightforward as lunacy. Yeah. Around the world, this is being seen as madness. And I'll repeat, of course, many of you watching will not have voted for this. So I'm not talking about you guys, because sometimes I get some comments, people in the comments going, I didn't vote for this. Don't treat us all the same. Of course, I'm not talking about you guys. And of course, you guys would know that by now. But I have to talk about how the world is perceiving this. They're seeing it for what it is, which is madness. Many of you are seeing this as madness, but there are still some people that are still howling at the moon, believing this BS. Yeah. Outcome card. Yeah, this is a tricky one. It's difficult. This is a card of perseverance, being canny. This is a card of being embattled and trying to get through. So, of course, this is a bit of a beating. Of course, it's a blow to Europe, because European wines and foods are very popular in the United States. Globally, they're very popular, but there are a lot of buyers in the United States because, of course, Europe produces some of the best wines in the world. Not the only places. Of course, you have New Zealand, Australia, South America produces superb, Malbecs, etc. Wine is not going to run out, of course. But if you are fond of European wines and you love your Pinot Noirs, for example, or your Chablis, your classic, those ones, a lot more difficult. But this also shows as well that Europe is determined, is determined to persevere and succeed. In a way, I just feel like it's just more harmful for the American people, to be honest. That it will just become unaffordable. And maybe those markets will collapse. If you're Jeff Bezos, of course, you can keep on with your super expensive Chateauneuf de Pape. But for ordinary people, it's not good. I think it's tough on Americans. And I don't think it's going to succeed. Europe is just going to persevere and basically try and sell its produce in other places. Japan is a big market for alcohols and stuff like that. China loves a good wine as well. So there are many, many markets. So sorry about that. Let's see who else is in. Let's see who's in the chat. What's this? Instagram, face. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Sharon's sharing my archetypal. Thank you. Thanks so much. Because Sharon, you're, of course, now one of my moderators. Let's see who else is there. Kimberly say lunar eclipse 2 for the price of 1. Oh, indeed. Vanessa saying Seattle in the house. Nice to see you. Who else is joining me live tonight? And let's see who else is in here. Kelly saying hello to everyone. Let's scroll down a bit more. Thank you. Sharon Saipi saying, please hit the like button and subscribe. Make sure to get the notification so all the show and share. It's free. Yes, it is free. Thank you so much for reminding. So if you subscribe to a channel, it's free. You pay for things like membership or what have you, if that YouTube channel provider provides that. But subscription is not payment. Yeah, it's free. Let's see who else is here. So please like and subscribe. So Mary Kane says it will be interesting to see when they wake up and see how this all shakes out. Indeed. And then Cosmic Cat Lady said, yes, Idaho. And actually the majority did not vote for him. Oh my goodness. And she still got dragged out. Wow. Heavens. All right, let's move on to the next one. And to make sure I keep up the pace. So that was 1, 2, right, 3. There we are. So this has come in from Tam. Oh, how am I going to say this? Tam Sea Salts. Ah, that's how you say it. Tam Sea Salts. Thank you. Now, her question, I'm assuming it's a her, because Tam could be Tammy, couldn't it? She's asked about Tim Walz. Yeah. Now, she says here, Waltz back in, giving us hope again. What else can you do besides scream or sue when the commander-in-chief is a liar and thief? A leader will heed the call to lead, and he's rallying in red districts. So what I want you guys to do is to cast your mind back to November. And I did a prediction the day before the election. Now, I need to watch this video fully again. But one of the things, you remember, and I was looking at the charts of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and J.D. Vance and Trump. Yeah. Now, what I did afterwards, I did admit to what I said was my mistake. And I said that the charts of the vice presidents didn't count. No, that's not what I said. I realized afterwards that the charts of the vice president didn't count in terms of the race one-on-one. Yeah. And you could see I was really agonized and pained because I was counting up the planets and I was like, oh God, Trump's chart is very strong. But then I was looking at Tim Walz and Kamala. And what it is that Tim Walz actually, if you count it up, especially if he turns out to be a Cancer ascendant, I don't have a birth time for him, so I couldn't verify it. When you look back at it, Tim Walz, believe it or not, actually has a chart that's even more powerful than Trump's. Astrologically. Now, I'm not just saying that to give false hope and whoa, whoopee-doo. No. As you know, I approach what I do as a science. It's an ancient science, but I counted up the connections. One of the main reasons why Duck L'Orange won is because he's got 5 exact conjunctions, yeah, with the USA chart. Tim has got I think he's got 5, but he touches even more planets. And that's why I said if Trump loses, it's because of J.D. Vance's chart. Yeah, because his was the weakest in terms of connection with the United States. And I said, if Kamala wins, then it's because of Tim Walz's chart. Now, in the end, yeah, we know what happened. But I also said in that video, if I remember correctly, I need to double check myself to make sure that I'm not, that I'm quoting myself correctly. But I think I said Trump would cheat. Yeah. But one of the things I've said for a long time, as you guys will remember, I said he doesn't even have to win. It just has to be close. Because when you do the gerrymandering and the disenfranchisement of voters, remember as well, millions upon millions of people chose not to vote. So they also have a bit of karma, on being left on their doorstep. And Saturn is the planet of karma. Anyway, I don't want to lecture. So I put here Tim Walz, and I put here, remind people that I made my prediction. Yeah, so basically, astrologically, Tim Walz's chart is actually a bit more powerful than Trump's. And I looked at a certain section, and I don't know if I went on to repeat, but maybe I did say it, I know, because it's quite a while ago now. But basically, with Tim Walz's chart, he could actually be the president if he ran. Yeah. And again, this is not to give false hope and stuff like that. I've already done the analysis, yeah, before all of this stuff happened. Yeah, it's already baked in. You can just go back in time and have a look. Even though the date says the 5th, it was actually the 4th of November I did the video. But honestly, if he ran, he would stand a very good chance of winning, because his heart, in terms of the positive of America, he represents the light side, Whereas Duck Larange, as you know, sometimes I refer to him as Black Mirror. He reflects the shadow. Yeah, he reflects the shadow. Still powerful. Yeah, because a lot of people went there. Yeah. Oh, the leopards won't eat my face. Oops, got that wrong. Just tell that to Nebraska. Yeah, who are going to go bankrupt because they deported all of their workforce, or, you know, ICE raids and all this stuff. So let's do a read here on Tim Walz. My God, I really am. My mouth is just running loose today. It's the passion. Mars in the first house. Even now I'm heating up. I'm getting boiling here, boiling. Right, Tim Walz. This is an important read. Let's see. I just want to read the energy on him around his potential prospects. I hope when all this is over, like, what are his prospects for being president? What would he bring? What would he bring to America if he were president? Let's have a look. I'm not saying he certainly will be, yeah, because technically, you know, on paper, we've got 4 years, yeah, but you know what? Before the next general election, but anything can happen in these times. These are wild, historic times. Anything could happen, but his chart is strong. Tim Walz. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll scroll down and have a look in a second. You know, I like to bring you guys in. Let's see. Tim Walz. Well, bloody hell. Ooh, it's giving me the shivers. You know what? He stands a chance, you know. Again, I don't want to give people false hope, but he stands a chance. Look at this. First card out the gate. Look, victory card. You saw me shuffle the cards, and you know I shuffle and I pick with my eyes closed, or at least partially closed. But you saw me shuffle the cards extensively. I asked, what could he do? That he had a strong chart. Maybe he could win. Look, he gets the victory card. So that gives us hope. Yeah. Maybe people need to experience all this douchebaggery for them to appreciate what a good leader is, rather than voting for you know who. Anyway. The second card can technically be considered an obstacle card, but if it is positive and the first card is positive, then it is reinforcing. Look at this. 6 of Cups, nostalgia, family values. He represents the positive heart of America, the positive emotions. I think if he were president, people would be able to sleep well in their beds. Yeah. He will bring back a calm, a kind of a nostalgia. Yeah. It will go back. His energy would be softer, more gentle. Do you see here? The 2 children, and look how they're looking at each other, and there are flowers in the cups. So this is a very sweet card. I've also remembered as well from my video, he's got planets in Pisces as well. Mars in Pisces, and I can't remember the other one, which is also the spiritual warrior. Yeah. So he's strong. He's in his divine masculine. Yeah. But he has a good heart. If we look here, now look, Queen of Cups. Now this card deals with intuition, creativity, etc. But you see here, look, she's got her secret plans here. So what this says to me is that there might be some planning behind the scenes. Again, this is not to give false hope or anything like that. I can't stand that. I think false hope is worse than no hope at all. Honestly, it is. But I have to say what I see. This is a card that deals with compassion and creativity, but it does speak of secret plans. So what it could be is that maybe Tim is positioning himself. Maybe he's thinking of things like the midterms, etc. But if I were his advisor and he came to me for a consultation, based on the strength of his chart, I would say to him, go for it to be president. Yeah. I think maybe that is his ultimate destiny because his chart is that strong. It's even stronger than Duck Larange's. And Trump has got a strong chart. That's why you saw me on the when I did that prediction. I was like, oh, this is really difficult because she should win, especially with Tim. But his chart was still. We all know what's happened since then. However, will it be easy? No. No. He will have to fight. He will have to defend. He will have to get strong in battle. Yeah, he's going to have to get sharp on those interviews and all of that stuff. Because what we need to remember is there's a whole pile of douchebags out there in corporate world that don't want to see the likes of Tim Walz, yeah, triumph on the hill. And this is what I've been talking about with that Pluto in Capricorn, yeah, the corporate corruption and entanglement with the government, which I've been talking about, as you know, ad nauseum for donkeys. But it's true, isn't it? It's proven true. So he will have to fight, but he can do it. And then his outcome card is actually a very positive card. Yeah. There may be people that will say to him, you'll be a fool to do this. Yeah. Because who knows what shape America will be in by that point. And I would imagine this realistically, I mean, if we're thinking in terms of timelines of elections, then technically, isn't it? The next election is 4 years from now. Will Duck Larange leave if he's still alive? Of course, he's not going to want to. But there is an element here. This card can talk about a fresh new start, a leap of faith. Yeah. It can also talk about a foolish errand. Yeah, it can talk about that. But in that context, it's almost like after a battle and a fight, you know, he's prepared to take that leap, or maybe the American people are prepared to take that leap. But when I look at that first card, he stands a chance. Let's just put it that way. We'll have to see, because I'm worried that the United States will actually break up into separate parts. You've heard me talk about that. So maybe he becomes president. Could it be he becomes president of a blue state, which has removed itself? That could also be the case. Yeah. Because, of course, that astrology, yeah, that alignment, it is profound. Yeah, profound. But I hope that gives people a little bit of hope, a little candle in the wind. Yeah, I hope. But I don't want to give false hope either. So don't be all like, you know, Hoagie said that, you know, don't worry, everyone, he's going to win. Yeah, it's just he has that potential in his chart, and his cards are also showing that potential, but it also shows a fight. He has the potential to be president, but if the United States breaks up, he might become president of a certain section of the United States. I could see that as well. So I hope that doesn't spook people too much as well. But, you know, I have to just speak the truth, isn't it, of what I've seen over these years. All right. Now, I'm going to go to question number 4. Let's see who else is in the house. Magical Mermaid says, break the chains eclipse. Oh, yeah, it could be that. A lot of stuff's going to be breaking, unfortunately. What's going on? Look at this. Connie B says, 550 army soldiers arrive in Tucson, Arizona to patrol the border. My son said they're shoring up both borders. What the hell is going on? All sorts. Yeah. It's all emerging, guys. Oh, and thank you, by the way. There's over 1,000 of you here joining me live. I hope I'm not going too fast. You know, I get very, very impassioned when I'm in the flow of things. Let's see who else is here. People are having a good old chit chat. What's this? Tony, oh, quite a daring photograph. Tony Salvatore says, Social Security, I accept, I accept, I accept. My God is all I accept. I'm not quite sure what he's referring to there, but, you know, we should look at Social Security. Here we are. I hope the tech bros all have it. I hope to enjoy this eclipse. We shall see. One thing I will say is this, is that it has to come from The American people. Remember too, what I also said, America is also going into a phase of the French Revolution. French Revolution. And when I looked up the timings, I was like, oh my goodness. So in the French Revolution, Saturn was in sidereal Pisces. He's going to move in on the 29th of March. Yeah. So that part is going to be fulfilled. Uranus was in Taurus. Yeah. The Uranus is going to move back into Taurus. I think it's on the 17th of March. That's only 4 days from now. Yeah. Which is the planet of what? Revolution. Yeah. Neptune at that time, because Neptune takes 164 years to go around the sun. Neptune is currently in sidereal Pisces, but it was in sidereal Virgo at the time, which means that's a Neptune opposition. And what really crowned it was that Jupiter was in sidereal Cancer at the time of the French Revolution. And guess when Jupiter goes into sidereal Cancer? It will go in on the 1st of June, 2026. Less than a month after America is exactly 250 years old. Profound times. So people, again, I'm not encouraging violence and stuff like that, but rise up. Yeah. Protest, boycott, everything. The boycotts are already working. Yeah. On Elon. Look at that. Trump selling Teslas from the driveway of the White House. I mean, you can't. Do you remember how I said when I looked at the inauguration chart, I said, we're going to see stuff that we've never seen before. This administration is going to do some crazy batshit stuff. Now look. Anyway, right. Let's talk about recession. I hope it doesn't happen. But anyway. So 2 people asked about recession. So Martina asked, given that the US is facing possible recession, will lower Manhattan area, including Wall Street, be experiencing any protests or civil unrest at the end of March / beginning of April? Yeah. And then Mary, did I get that right? Yes. And then Mary Jazzy Cat said, do you think the US will have to go into a recession before the MAGA will wake up and realize the felon is not who they thought he was? Thanks. First of all, I would say yes, absolutely. Yeah. For some people, unfortunately, especially at those existing at that lower vibration of consciousness, because Pluto will always represent the subconscious and then very often the lowest vibration in the collective. Some people can only learn when they get, yeah, when their lives are touched. This is why you're seeing a lot of the MAGAs going like, oh my God, I just lost my job and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. They didn't care before. They wanted other people to be hurt. That's what they voted for. The cruelty. Yeah. Ha! Those people are going to get it. I'm going to be rich. Yeah. Rubbish. Rubbish. They've lost their jobs. Now they're literally crying online. That's why they're calling it MAGA tears. That kind of vibration of consciousness, that is not where Gaia is going. It's not where humanity is going. It's not where consciousness is going. Those people cannot cope with the higher vibrations. And stuff's going to unfold. So they either go up to the higher vibration or they don't make it. I know that sounds brutal, but you can't vote to hurt someone else. Yeah. Vote for yourself. If anything, vote for your own interest. Fine. Vote for your own interest. Okay, I want this because you can't vote to hurt other people. Well, those lot will be deported. Yeah. Latins for Trump. Please. Again, of course, not all people of Latin extraction voted for Trump. 60% did. Yeah. Oh, that was intelligent, wasn't it? God, gee whiz. Anyway, deep breaths. Will they wake up? Yeah. If their recession comes, will they wake up? He's already tanking Wall Street and crypto, believe it or not. Ironically, the crypto president, yeah. He does a giant grift, making himself billions. They did a pump and dump. Anyway, MAGA voters. A lot are waking up, but we're talking about the hardcore here. Will it take recession? How will they respond in recession? How many will awaken? Will they ever awaken? Or will they still be stuck on daddy? On daddy's teats? Yeah. Oh, God. You wouldn't believe these cards. Let me slurp my drink here. All right. MAGA. Look at the first card. 7 of Cups. They're delusional. Yeah, this is the card of illusion, delusion. There's all sorts of weird stuff going on here. You got a ghost flying out, this one. A severed head. This, of course, is, remember as well, talking about the star Algol, which I've been warning everyone. Remember, the star of betrayal. Uranus has been on this star, pretty much conjunct it, for months. Yeah. Started in the summer of 2024. Because it deals with beheadings, assassinations, retirements, people feeling betrayed or having to leave the stage. Yeah. In the first sweep, Biden had to leave. Trump was almost assassinated. Second sweep, going retrograde back over the election on the 5th of November, 5th and 6th, slap bang, Uranus right on that star. The third sweep is coming round about the middle of April. I think it's April 14th, 15th, which of course is tax time in the United States. That's the third and last hit. After that, it will be another 84 years until the world has to experience Uranus on Algol. But anyway, they're delusional, yeah? But this is also a card as well of making choices, maybe not knowing what choice to make. Now that they've voted for Duck Larange, they don't know what to do. Oh my God, what am I going to do? What have I done? Yeah, you can see here, there's even a serpent here and stuff like that. So they are confused. They are discombobulated, but a lot of them are still delusional. Why? Look at this. The obstacle card. This is the card of what? Orthodoxy, the church. Yeah, these are your evangelicals. These are the people who stand in there like, oh, tub thumping their Bibles and all of that kind of stuff. This is probably the mega churches, yeah? Mega churches still pumping out this stuff to keep them enthralled. This could also be Fox News as well, yeah? Foxtrot. Again, for entertainment purposes only, but this could be Foxtrot because they represent dogma as well. They are the mouthpiece of propaganda for the regime. Yeah, this can also, the Hierophant can talk about regimes, dogma. By extension, you could even say cults because it's blind faith. The shadow of this card is blind faith. The MAGA voters, many of them have been discombobulated and confused by the doctrine. Yeah. This is also what? Project 2025, where, you know, Elon has gone even further than they had planned. Let's see. Anyway, so middle card. Things move forward rapidly. Yeah, we've got the Chariot here. Things move forward rapidly. What it means is events are going to overtake things. Events will overtake circumstances and ideology. For many, many people, even if they are up the wazoo, MAGA, triple Trump voter, what have you, events are going to overtake them. Tell that to the, you know, of course, you know, I'm saying that as well to the people of Nebraska who are about to go bankrupt, by the way. Imagine bankrupting yourself because you just hate people that much. Oh, let's deport all of the people that work on our farms. Oh, that can't hurt us. Oh, please. Yeah. Leslie sees Schumann resonance high right now. Ah, that's good. And then someone else is here saying, Magical Mermaid, impeach, impeach. Absolutely. However, look at this. 8 of Cups walking away. Not every single one. The most evangelical and delusional of MAGAs will stay. Yeah. The most evangelical and delusional. But events move at such pace that they have to walk away. Yeah. They have to. What are you going to do if you've got no livelihood, no job? You can't still support him then, can you? And if we look here, we get the Knight of Pentacles, which is the loyal, steady knight. So what does that mean? This card can also mean the mercenary, by the way. So I think this is a lot to do with the oligarchy as well, who are essentially mercenaries, yeah, of this policy. It will also as well talk about, this could be, it might take a long time for the economy to recover as well. We'll have to see where it goes. Obviously, if Trump, Duck L'Orange, keeps spewing his BS, which of course his boss is telling him to do, yeah, then the time for the recovery, of course, will be slower. But there could also as well, I think this is going to be talking about, the economy as well, and potential recession, because it's a slow moving, so it's at the very least going to slow down. It already is, but it could be more than that. But thanks for that question. I hope that answered it well. All right, let's get to question number 5. As you know, now, I've written 5 down twice. Look, we have to go on to the next one. I'll squeeze in Elon. I'm supposed to write 6 there. That's supposed to be 6. This is really important. Okay. So Martina has said, hi, Hogarth. Trump just said during his meeting with NATO that Denmark has no say in Greenland's future. Is this the case? Oh, horrible. He openly discussed annexation of Greenland in front of the NATO General Secretary. Well, she's put NATO G Secretary, so I hope that means General Secretary. Forgive me if I'm getting that wrong. Basically saying the US will be sending more troops there. Greenland just had its election, and the party that won majority is not a fan of Trump, they say. Will that orange menace take Greenland by force? Greenland is part of NATO and the EU via Denmark. And what I've put here, I've put a note here, and this I believe to be true. I was pondering this the other day. Trump is what I would call a neo-imperialist. Yeah, no one's using that word. Fine, they don't have to. I mean, obviously, I don't think that's common parlance now, but that's what I believe him to be, a neo-imperialist. Neo just basically means new imperialist. There's another word, of course, which I use to describe Trump, which is called what? Trumpocalypse. Yeah, this is Trumpocalypse kind of stuff going on. But there is a book recently that has become a #1 bestseller, and it's called The Lives of the Caesars. And it's written by Suetonius over 2,000 years ago. And the translation is by Tom Holland, who has a podcast, which I think is called The Rest is History. Yeah. And it's become a bestseller. And really, because this is what Trump wants. Yeah. He is a Leo rising. Yep. He's Leo rising with Mars in the 1st house, conjunct the star Regulus right on his ascendant. And you've heard me say before, he wants to be a king. He's declared himself a king, but it's even more than that. He wants to be an emperor. He wants to be an emperor. And that's why I say he is a neo-imperialist, because what he's talking about is imperialism, taking over countries by force, taking the Panama Canal, annexing Canada, saying it's going to be a 51st state, wanting to annex Greenland. Yeah, it's just, oh my God, it's just so beyond. All right, so let's see. Is he going to try and take Greenland by force? If we see cards like the Tower, if we see the Knight of Swords, that can literally mean going into battle. We don't want to be seeing aggressive cards. If we see the Seven of Cups come back, then we know it's a fantasy and a delusion that's not likely to come true. And thank you for joining me, everyone. There's over 1,100 of you that joined me. All right. Is Duck Larange going to go in by force to take Greenland? I mean, the fact, can you believe what's just come out of my mouth? That can even be in the same sentence as a US president. Anyway. Deep breaths. Right. All right. This is interesting. Do you remember I talked about the Seven of Cups? Yeah. Let's come back. All right. Here we go. This is a massive wake-up call. Yeah. For the whole world. Wake-up call. This is like the bugle call is going. This is what you call a 5-alarm fire in the US, isn't it? Red. Yeah. Craziness. Everyone is waking up to the absolute madness that this guy has imperial intentions. We look here, we've got the Hermit card, which is a card of isolation, of reflection, going within, yeah, trying to find a spiritual path of some kind. Oh, let me just I need to do some thank yous. Thank you, Cindy Hendricks, so much for your donation. Thank you, Vanessa, so much for your donation. Much appreciated. Thank you, Crystal Blue, for your donation. And Kaylee just became a new YouTube member. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. But this is in the obstacle position. I think this is talking about America's isolation on the world stage. Yeah, this is a card of isolation. Yeah. So we got the wake-up call, the Great Awakening. I mean, look, this is it. Literally. The Great Awakening. But it's leading to what? Isolation, because people are like, oh my God. Again, those that did not vote for Trump, it is not your fault. But look at the anguish this is causing the world. Yeah. This is also as well the potential anguish of Greenland and Denmark and Europe and the world in general. Sleepless nights. However, Trump is delusional. He's delusional. Yeah. I've already explained this card when I was talking about the MAGA voters, how appropriate that it should come back. I had a feeling it would. You saw me shuffle the cards, didn't you? It came back. So this is a fantasy in his mind, but it's unlikely to be realized. And here we see the Four of Wands, which of course, as you know, it talks about the White House. Yeah. There's someone delusional in the White House. He's giving everyone nightmares, but it's leading to the US being isolated on the world stage because everyone has had the wake-up call. Yeah. So I don't think he's going to invade. The cards will be saying this is like the delusional fantasies, yeah, of a maniac that wishes to be an emperor, a king and an emperor. That's what he wishes. Let's see if I can squeeze in one more. Let's get one in on Elon. Oh, I'm running out of this. Let's do one on Elon. Yeah, because that douchebag needs to be talked about. What am I doing on time? Okay, 104. Yeah, I can squeeze in one more on Elon. Thank you so much for your questions, by the way. So Alexandra says, apparently this eclipse on the 14th makes some difficult aspects to Elon's chart, and he seems to be facing a lot of pressure. Will he finally blow up or out of the White House? If not now, when? So let's take a look. Now, the thing is, Muskie is being supported by a lot of the broligarchy, yeah? However, because Duck Larange is tanking the economy, you got to remember, all of these rich people are also losing money, yeah? Obviously, they're still going to have bread and wine. They're still be ordering their Chateauneuf de Pape and their Pinot Noirs and all of this stuff from Europe. But in terms of their share price, their share price and stuff, they are losing multiple millions, if not billions. So this isn't sustainable forever. And of course, this pressure is working, because why else would Elon obviously beg Trump to start selling his Teslas from the lawn of the White House? Doesn't that just smack of utter rectitude and desperation? Oh my God, I feel like I'm on my pulpit tonight. Forgive me if I'm so impassioned, but I'm just like, it's so ridiculous. So Elon, what's going on with him? Will he blow up and out of the White House? Let's have a look. God, these things are so ridiculous. And thank you for joining me. I think that's a record for my Thursday fry-up. 1,135 of you. Thank you. Much appreciated. Oh, and I've got to ask about Social Security as well, haven't I? I can't leave that unsaid. All right, Elon. We'll just kind of whip through, and then I'll see if I can squeeze in a Social Security. I'll go to 1:15, guys, or thereabouts. I don't want the video to be too long, because it's better if it's an hour, but such are the times. Elon. Interesting. All right, here we go. Here's Elon, in the shadow of the King of Swords. The shadow of this card is a ruthless, cold-hearted man. There's no compassion at all. That's Elon, douchebag. Here, look at the obstacle position. He's not sure what to do. He's had to run to suckle on the teats of Daddy Trump. To try and sell his Teslas for him, because he's in two minds of how long he can stick around. I did a reading on Hogarth's Financial Astrology where I overlaid the charts of Elon Musk and Trump to that of the United States. And I said they could cause a lot of losses. Sadly, a lot of people will lose their health and more, with those policies. But I also said that Elon is going to have to choose between SpaceX and Tesla. But the thing is, Tesla tanking is bad news for Elon, because all of the money that he's borrowed is against his Tesla stock and his ability to pay back. The SpaceX stuff, of course, that's government contracts, and he obviously has some kind of deal with Duck Larange. So that's why they're saying he's the biggest welfare queen. While he's getting billions in subsidies and contracts, he's slitting the throats of everyone else. Trouble is, the sun's out now. Everyone can see. This is the sign. This is the card of enlightenment. Clarity. And even though this is coming in Elon's pull, and you could say it's quite a positive card, but there's nowhere to hide in the full blazing sunshine. It's quite interesting as well, because this could also symbolically represent his son X, the kid who he drags around everywhere with him. But everyone can see. Only a dunce, only the dumbest of the dumb cannot see what is going on, with Elon. Look, people are starting to understand it's all about the money, King of Pentacles. This, Elon is here, but this obviously has to be Duck Larange, Trump, But look at the card that comes out next. So look, Trump's done it for the money, The Broligarchy were able to teach him how to do the pump and dump on that rubbish crypto that he launched, which netted him billions but fleeced his followers. So they enriched him. The Broligarchy enriched him. But look, the outcome card is the Lovers. Now, the Lovers is about making choices, profound choices. And as you know, I associate this card as well with imports and exports, trade, goods, services. So, of course, this is bad for Elon's business, because the share price is going down, and it's not going to improve until he exits stage left. So boycott, boycott, boycott. Anything Tesla, boycott. Anything connected with Elon, boycott. This also shows as well that this is a marriage of sorts. If I take these cards here, and if I were to put the Lovers in the middle, Heartless tech, yeah, heartless tech person, obsessively greedy person, Trump. So heartless tech, obsessive greed, lovers, yeah, it's like this marriage. However, it's become very clear what it's all about, and there are choices to be made. My feeling is Elon can only stick around for so long. Yeah, only for so long. Because if your share price keeps tanking and you have a majority stake in those shares and all of your debts are borrowed against those shares, if they start to go down in value, you got a big problem and you owe a lot of money. Yeah. So I'm going to say he's on borrowed time, or as I predicted in my other videos on my financial astrology channel, he may sacrifice Tesla for SpaceX. Yeah, because he wants that more. He wants to go to Mars. So that's my feeling. He might do that. All right. Let's read on Social Security. Oh, my God. If they touch that, I mean, it's just beyond diabolical, isn't it? Social Security is something that Americans pay into all of their lives. And then describing it as a benefit, it's not a benefit, it's an entitlement. Yeah, from what I understand, you pay into it. And just to even float the idea of cutting that, it's just beyond despicable. But let's see, what's the energy around Social Security? It's the energy around Social Security. Many of you who are watching are on Social Security. Many of my clients, you know. All right, let's see. Again, I don't want to give false hope, but let's see. If we look here, we see the abuse of power. Yeah, this is because how appropriate, because we're just reading on Elon. So this is Elon and all of that cabal. Yeah, those douchebags abusing their power. However, if we see here in the obstacle position, we have temperance. Now, you'd never want this card in the obstacle position, because what this means, it means the chemistry is not working. Yeah, their plan, remember, they're saying we're going to balance the books. But everyone knows that it's actually an abuse of power. It's a pile of BS. The chemistry is not working. People are not buying it. They're starting to call them out in these town halls. Yeah. Someone from somewhere will stand up, will have to rise up, is going to have to say stuff. Yeah. Big time. Big time. Yeah. But this is also could be a movement. I think if they touch Social Security, that will be the straw to break the camel's back. And a lot of people are going to rise up. Yeah, a lot of people are going to rise up. Just want to say here, Barbara Gregg said, if taxes owed on April 15th, file at the last possible moment with all the IRS and post office layers, things will be a mess. Yeah, or if you feel daring, maybe just boycott it altogether. Because really, you guys are paying all of this tax for what? Just so that Elon can put rockets into the air that explode. It's outrageous. But look at the two outcome cards. Here we have the 10 of Cups, which is the happy family. Yeah. Wish fulfillment, all of this stuff. This can talk about the GOP, but remember, I'm also talking about Social Security. And then look, the Ace of Cups, which again talks about emotion overflowing, etc., and stuff like that. So what I'm going to say is this. They are abusing their power in every which way, but the chemistry is not working. They're not quite able to convince everyone, particularly when it comes to Social Security, that's going to affect 70 million people, something like that. The threat, people will rise to the challenge. Yeah, this could really stir the ire and the anger of many, many people. This could be when you might actually see a mass uprising here. Yeah, Knight of Wands is about passion, taking action. And people want to what? Protect their families, their standard of living, their way of life. And could it be, if the people stand up, will they be ultimately victorious? Will they get what they want? I certainly hope so. So how near they go to this Social Security remains to be seen. Yeah. We'll have to see how much they're prepared to abuse their power. But if they do, people will rise up. Okay, and I'm going to leave it there because that's 1:15 now. Thank you. I've hit a record tonight. It's 1,174 of you joining me here live. Much, much appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kaylee, as well, for your donation. He said, CNBC called the Tesla stock drop off the Tesla chainsaw massacre. I would say it was definitely working. Yes. And they're now calling his cars swastikas. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Otherwise, it would be 16 minutes past. Big love, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. And you'll see me on Hogelish on Saturday. Bye-bye for now.